Hello! What exactly is sound? And how can we describe what we hear? Listen to these examples. What do you hear? Could you recognize the instruments? How do they differ? And how can their sound be described? When we want to describe sounds, it's often hard to find the right words. That's why we often use words that actually belong to other senses. People may describe a sound as bright or cold, dark or warm. A sound might be sharp, metallic, thick, or eerie. These descriptions aren't very precise and can vary from person to person, but they still help us communicate what a sound feels like because they express the emotions we associate with it. What other words can you think of to describe sounds? To describe sounds more precisely, it can help to break them down into their components. One element is time. Is the sound short or long? How does it change over time? Another is pitch or frequency. Is the sound low or high? And which frequencies is it made up of? Let's first look at frequencies. A sound almost always consists of different frequencies. Frequency refers to a specific pitch, from the lowest to the highest tones we can hear. A sine wave has only one frequency. All other sounds are made up of the mix of different frequencies. The lowest frequency is called the fundamental tone. The others are overtones. The pattern of overtones differs from one instrument to another. That's why we can tell a guitar from a violin or a piano, even if they play the same note. We can also produce different overtones with our voice. Try singing e, o, u, while holding the same pitch. As your mouth shape changes, so do the overtones. And that's what makes the vowels sound different. Sounds with a few overtones often seem dull or soft, while those with many overtones can sound sharp or metallic. To create a wide variety of different sounds yourself, you can use a synthesizer, an electronic instrument you might know from pop, hip-hop, or house music. Below this video, you'll find a link to an online synthesizer where you can experiment. Many synthesizers allow you to select different waveforms that produce different overtones. Besides sine waves, there are, for example, sawtooth waves and square waves. You could also shape the sound using a filter. As the name suggests, filters remove certain parts of the sound. A low-pass filter puts only the low frequencies through and cuts off the higher ones. Try out different waveforms and filters in a synthesizer to see how they affect the sound. Now let's look at the second dimension, time. A sound can be short or long. Most sounds also change over time. Some start with a quick, loud burst and fade away quickly, while others build up slowly and then gradually fade out. We call these stages attack and release. Some instruments can hold a tone for a long time. That's the sustain phase. Because sustain is usually quieter than the attack, there's also a period where the sound moves from attack to sustain. This is called decay. Together, these form what is known as an ADSR sound envelope. They describe how long a sound takes to reach its peak and then to get a little quieter, how long it's held, and how long it takes to fade away. For many acoustic instruments, these phases can be shaped by playing techniques. With synthesizers, you can adjust these values directly. Try experimenting with these settings yourself. Now let's try to describe some sounds again. This bass drum is very short. It has a short attack and release time and almost no sustain. It also contains a lot of overtones. The second bass drum is longer. It still has a sharp attack, but a long release and only a few overtones. Some sounds are strongly associated with particular styles of music. A distorted electric guitar is linked with rock. Scratch vinyl with hip-hop, and growling vocals with death metal. Every genre has its own characteristic sound, which comes from the instruments used, playing techniques, songwriting styles, vocal approaches, and more. For example, the Roland 808, the first affordable electronic drum machine, was hugely influential in early hip-hop and house music, and it's featured in countless songs. So if you want to create a specific musical style, it helps to know the characteristic sounds of that genre, and think about how to include them in your own music. Below this video, you'll find links to videos that explain what different genres sound like and how they're produced. Another example of sound as a creative tool is the use of different vocal techniques, such as opera singing, crooning,
the very thought of you,
throat singing, or growling. Each of these ways of using the voice comes from different cultural, historical, and technical contexts, and each has its own idea of what good singing sounds like. Take opera singing, for instance. This technique was developed at a time when there were no microphones or speakers. The singer's voice had to carry over the orchestra and reach the very back of the hall, so the goal was to sing as loudly and powerfully as possible. Opera houses were even built to enhance this kind of vocal projection. This is how a specific idea of what good singing should sound like emerged. Can you describe what the characteristic sounds of your favorite song are? What makes them special? Listen to different songs and pay close attention to the sound. Have fun exploring, and see you next time. Bye!